Blizzard.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Flesh and Blood stream. I gotta tell you, excuse me, my voice is still a little cut out. I have been under the weather from traveling and getting back, so we are pushing through streaming tonight anyway. But yeah, my voice definitely sounds a little weird. I am hearing myself sound weird as I'm talking. Excuse me. But we are back from Pro Tour Yokohama, and we have a big story time. I gotta tell you, it is good to be back. I had a blast in Japan, but I am glad to be back. Streaming, making content, hanging out with you guys. It's part of my favorite part of the game. So definitely excited to be back. But yes, Japan was a lot of fun, and we have a lot of things to talk about and cover tonight. Now, even though I had a lot of fun in Japan, I did not do very well in Japan. We're going to talk about all that. I'm going to talk about my weekend. We're going to do story time. We have a giveaway for 5,000 subscribers on YouTube that we finally hit our goal. I was very excited to hit that goal, to see that when I got back, or while I was in Japan, it popped up. So super pumped to have that happen while I'm gone. So that's really cool. We're going to do a giveaway for that tonight. I'll show you guys what we're giving away here in just a few minutes. And then we have a few things to announce that are coming back, and a couple of new things that are happening, and how we're going to take everything and we're going to move forward with it. Dave, let's go with the 19 months. Dave, thank you so much for the 19 months over on Twitch. I appreciate that, brother. It means a lot. God, I feel like I sound like one of those old ladies who smokes all the time. Like, it just feels like that has to be feels like it has to be rising up. I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like one of those old ladies right now. Hydrate for Monster. Monster, what's going on? Steve, Dave, Monster, Martin, Rose, Delph, Ben, Michael Paul, Arcane. Ooh, I wish I could read actual Japanese writing. I apologize. I cannot say that. I did not get that far in my Japanese practice. I actually had to read it. So I apologize. Please don't hate me. I saw you in Yokohama. I should have said hi. I hope you had an amazing trip to Japan from a Japanese fan. Well, thank you. First off, thank you so much for the kind words. Yes, I had an amazing time in Japan. Carly and I got to go see Disney Sea. We did lose a little bit of our trip because we got delayed by 16 hours in Los Angeles, which was unfortunate. But we had a great time. Got to have some excellent food, hang out with some great friends that we wouldn't get to see otherwise. So it was an amazing trip. I had a lot of fun. I'm super excited to tell you guys all about it. And I'm also excited to talk about how I plan on taking the things that I learned from Pro Tour Yokohama and applying that to my testing for the next 2 months for US Nationals coming up and our next series that we're going to be doing called Road to Pro Tour Las Vegas. Now, I know that's kind of a mouthful. We're probably going to come up with an acronym like RTPTLV or something, and I'm going to make that like a command for everybody. But yeah, we're definitely doing that. Yo, let's go, Michael Paul, with the gifted sub over on Twitch. Michael Paul, thank you so much for the gifted sub. I appreciate that. Yo, Monster with the 25 stream watch streak. Let's go. Yes, you may have noticed that there are cats on my shirt. There are big kitty cats on my shirt, big tigers. Carly bought this for me while we were in Japan, and I absolutely loved it. I wore it to Disney Sea. I washed it when we got back, and I wanted to wear it to share it on the stream with you guys. Since it is now one of my new shirts added to my Hawaiian shirt collection, it is absolutely very comfortable. It's very nice. It was very warm in Japan when we were at Disney, so I'm very glad that I wore this shirt that like breathes very well. That was very, very nice. Top it. What's up, dude? So yeah, no, it was an absolutely amazing trip. I had a blast. I'm super glad I got to go and experience Japan. I really wish I would have got to go for longer. I know there are multiple people who stayed for 2 weeks, were there for 2 or 3 weeks, and I really wish that I would have got to do that to experience more of Japan and its culture. But I'm very grateful for the time that I did have. Unfortunately, there are just too many trips coming up with all of the things going on, like just for me to take that long off. More dad on vacation shirts are always great. Yo, that's based as shit, Arcane. Tell them. That's right. Absolutely. Yeah. Tokyo Disney Sea was absolutely amazing. It was a blast. Yo, what's up, Chris? Yo, Pockets, let's go with the 8 months over on Twitch. Pockets, thank you so much for the 8 months. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Actually, you know what? I should have had with me. I got like a bunch of tokens while I was there. Let me go grab them, show you guys these tokens. They're really cool. You guys didn't know you guys were getting a chair stream. Martin just asked how I'm adjusting to being back. So for anybody who does not know, Japan is 13 hours ahead of Eastern time, meaning that when it is 7 p.m. here, when I go live, it is 8 a.m. in Japan. Well, I got up at 3 o'clock this morning, and I have been up since. I took about a 30-minute nap a little bit ago, maybe a little bit longer. But I am not adjusting back to the time well at all. I have been up since 3 a.m. I went to bed at like midnight last night. I slept about 3 hours, and I just could not sleep anymore. Just could not sleep anymore. Like, I don't know why. It's just adjusting is not going well on the way back. So, it is what it is. So anyway, we got some really cool tokens that we get to talk about. Let's see. Where do we want to start? Let's start with the courage token that I got from Max Ferocity. So for anybody who does not know, Max Ferocity is a cosplayer. A lot of you probably know her as the Dash Lady. That's what I called her for a long time. She did Teklovossen. This weekend, while we were in Yokohama, she did Hala cosplay. And this was the courage token that she was handing out to people. So I was super happy to get one. It is super sick. I do not play courage tokens in many things, admittedly. But when I do, that will be the courage token I will be using. Got to have a sick chat with you for a little while. Yeah, Ryan, I remember us chatting, man. I remember us chatting. I am doing well. I hope you were doing well as well, brother. Her cosplays rock. Her Hala was so awesome. Oh, her Hala cosplay was awesome. It was absolutely awesome. Yo, Brad, what's up, dude? Lupine finishing up, so Influx coming. All right, so for anybody who does not know, John changed his schedule. Lupine Fiasco. His name is John. John changed his schedule to stream from 5 o'clock Eastern to like 7 or 8 Eastern. Which I thought was like really cool because that's a time slot nobody's really using. And he then put at the end of his message, I'll now be the official Agroblaze 96 waiting room. Well, I read that the other night, and I mean, I hit the floor. I was laughing so hard. John has really found his like niche inside of our community as the like comedic person, which is so funny because when John talks, he is like very, I don't know, John's not very monotone because the way that he speaks, he delivers with a lot of like passion when I hear him talk. But John is like very like, I don't know, like he's very like clear, concise. There's not a lot of animation in his voice. And so when he does these funny videos, I think it makes it twice as funny because I can hear him in the videos. I can hear him in his posts. I can hear him reading this stuff. So it's really funny to think about that kind of stuff. Yo, Bing, Brian, what's up, dude? He is dry like a vermouth. I don't know that I'd call John dry. I don't know. Maybe that's the word that I'm looking for. John is absolutely hilarious. So if John is wrapping up a stream and you are here from John's stream, I appreciate that. Thank you for coming over very much. John is great, and I hope you enjoyed his stream. Now, he does have dry humor. Yes, that is very true. That is very true. The tokens from Yokohama were banger. I was told the artist ally lines were a few hours long each. The artist lines were insane. I took some cards at the request of a friend to get them signed. And I got to tell you, moving forward, I'm going to start charging a fee for this stuff. Now, like when Derek watches this, he's going to laugh because he always pays more than it costs, which I'm always very appreciative of. But it is so hard to find time to play in the Pro Tour, go stand in line in between rounds, because that's what everybody's doing. And so there's not a lot of time to get it all done, which is kind of tough. It's kind of tough. Yo, what's up, Trent? Okay. Okay, John's spoiler reveal videos are like cinema. His cat getting involved is hilarious. All right, so let's see. So the next token that we have is a gold token. There was a lady there who was doing dead threads. I believe she was dead threads. And I got a chance to talk to her for a few minutes, and she had this gold token. Was really cool. And then she also had this Gold Kiss rum token. She had the wrong way. She had the gold token and the Gold Kiss rum token that she was handing out to people who were like taking pictures with her. So I thought these were both really cool. I was very excited to pick these up. So when I got to meet her, it was really cool that I got some of those tokens from her. Why didn't I go to Japan? Rose, you needed to go to Japan. You would have loved it. John did say Bun could take Taryn in a fight. Yo, he probably right. Taryn's the laziest cat I've ever met in my life. I love Taryn to death. Taryn is my second favorite living thing on this planet behind my wife. Like, it's not close. Love my family, loves my siblings. It is Carly, Taryn, and then the list goes on and on and on. But Bun, if Bun has any real life experience, could probably take Taryn, because Taryn is like, we have this like bird that like bounces up and down. Like Carly bought it from the TikTok shop that Taryn plays with, and like she lays down and lets it come to her. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Yeah, Rose, you would have loved Japan. I'm very surprised you didn't go to Japan. All right, here we go. Here's one that I'm really excited for. This is a seismic surge from a team called Pacific Pitch. They are from Hawaii. I got this seismic surge. It is actually based off of one of the volcanoes erupting at Hawaii, which I thought was really cool. The art was done by a local artist who's on like the team that they have over there. I did not get to meet her husband, but this lady walks up to me in between rounds, and she walks up to me and she goes like, "Hey, I forgot her name. I feel bad. I'm sorry if you're watching this. I apologize." She goes, you know, like, "Hey, like, I watch your channel." And I was like, "Oh, thanks so much." She was like, "Yeah, I watch your channel all the time in the morning." And I was like, "Thanks." And she was like, my husband watches you in the morning while he's getting ready for work. So I hear you all the time when I'm like trying to sleep or start my day. She said, so I like partially hate you. I don't know if that's exactly how she said it, but that was like the framed context of it. And so we had a good laugh about it. But I got to meet her and some of the people on her team. And so I got this really cool seismic surge token. So it was really cool to be able to get one of these, you know, like from like the heart of Hawaii, like a local team there. Was really cool to see. Sad that I never got to meet her husband. So now he no longer watches you every morning. Dude, you know what? That would actually be crazy. I mean, I wouldn't blame him, but I would understand, you know? Like, I would understand. Forget my wife. Now I'm like that guy's Dinkelberg, bro. That would be hilarious. Okay. The next one we got, this actually comes from the Spectral Shield. This is, you guys probably know her as Rin on Twitter or Blue Sky. She did the Prism cosplay this past weekend. And she made these like custom Spectral Shield tokens, which I thought were really cool. She was handing them out to people who were asking about them. So I asked about one and I got one, which is really cool. So I really liked just having this token is really sweet. What I would really like to be able to do is one of these days, I would like to be able to fill my deck, like one of my decks with just like custom tokens from, you know, random people I have met and talked to over the years, which is really cool. So just getting to like, you know, add the Spectral Shield is really cool. Rin was super nice. I got to grab a picture with her when she was in her Prism cosplay. She was super nice to chat with. Like all of the cosplayers were super nice. I took pictures with like every cosplayer I could find. It was just super cool. There was somebody who is, I believe, Mexico's national champion, if I remember correctly, was did a cosplay as King Shark Harpoon, which was really cool. It was awesome to see. So it was really cool. I'll never use Spectral Shield. Yo, like the window keeps opening for me to play Prism. Could be something we look at doing. Maybe we play Prism at the Cincinnati 5K, SCG 5K in May, if I can make it to that. If there's K-pop heroes, people are going to have some hurting wallets. Base, dude. You know what I need? I need a custom confidence token. That would be cool. That would be cool. I'm wondering if Seoul is going to give us some K-pop alt art heroes or something. Oh, that would be so cool. I would love that. I would love that. And then, all right, so I have 3 more tokens that I got while I was there, and then we'll talk about the giveaway and we'll do some story time. So I received the Sigil of Fate tokens. So this was somebody from the Singaporean community, and they turned these tokens into like a fun game. So basically, what happens is they have 2 backs. The front, the Sigil of Fates are the same, and then they have 2 backs in the tokens. Now there is the silver one. There is the silver one, which is like not as much good luck, I believe, is how I interpreted our conversation. So the silver one means not as much good luck, but the gold one means like a lot of good luck and like good things are coming your way. Now, they are both Sigil of Fate on the front, but they have different backs. So depending on which one you picked, you got to pick a different like token of like a different rarity level to take with you. Well, I opened the gold one, like, and the guy like was super nice. He was like, "Oh, the gold one, like it's so cool," and like we had a really cool time talking about it. It was awesome to be able to partake in and participate in. I just thought it was super cool in general, just to be able to like participate in that. I won a crouching tiger. My 2 options were this crouching tiger with this big fat cat on its licking itself, or a like frostbite with a cat that was like shivering. And so it was really cool to be able to like get the crouching tiger. I was able to add it to my Ira deck and play it in the Showdown, which was really cool because I got this in the Showdown. So it was really fun to be able to play that in my Ira deck. So I was the tokens were just really cool. It was awesome. I agree. This is a really cool crouching tiger, although it did give me a cool idea to make crouching tiger tokens with Terran on it. I thought that would be fun. I don't know. I thought about doing something like that, but I haven't got that far yet. That's a thick tiger for sure. That's right. Tell them. Absolutely.
Let's freaking
Yo, Philip, what's up, dude?
You love to see it.
Yo, Future God, what a name. Thank you so much for the sub over on YouTube. Guys, if you are here for the first time or you are new to the channel, we got 3 questions we ask everybody when they're new. Those questions are, what's your name? What got you into Flesh and Blood? And what are your favorite hot dog toppings? So we've talked about a lot of the tokens that I got to have. We haven't really had story time yet. And I mentioned that we're doing a giveaway. Let's talk about that giveaway. We're going to do it here in just a little bit after story time. I want to give people a few minutes to kind of like jump in here. But I had a chance to peruse some of the artists, and I had a chance to pick up some cool things. This was one of the things that I was able to pick up. I think you all can see the whole thing here, right? Yeah, perfect. Okay. So this is all 3 of the defense reactions. The Frostbite, the Embodiment of Earth, and the Embodiment of Lightning. It is all 3 of them in one art that was done by the artist. Now, I did not get to get this signed by the artist, unfortunately, because they were on a break and it was Sunday afternoon and I was trying to leave so Carly and I could go have dinner and like spend some time together. So we are going to be giving away that mat. And then you're also going to get one of each of the Aggro Blaze tokens. So you have the Gold Kiss Rum, the Frostbite, the Gold, the Silver, the Golden Cog, the Marked, and the Might token that I made with Gage. So this is completely free. We're just doing a giveaway. If you are international, I will pay to ship it to you internationally. What's going to happen is we're going to talk about story time. After story time, we're going to do a giveaway. You will need to be on YouTube to make that happen. So if you are on Twitch and you've never been to YouTube, !YT to be in the YouTube chat. I'll get you a link to it. And so we're going to give that away, and I will ship it to you wherever you're at in the world. Doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be US. Can be anywhere. So I'm pretty excited about that. The playmat's really cool. The playmat's really cool. I'm excited that I'm going to have a chance to share that with you guys. I also learned that there is a calling in Mexico City. Now, I've never been to Mexico. I learned that this is like in July or August. I can't really remember when. I think it's in August, maybe. I would have to look. But there is a calling in Mexico City, and I am going to do my best to make that happen this year. I started 2026 with the goal of hitting every single calling in North America. Now, obviously, after the whole Memphis incident, that has fallen short. But I'm still pushing to go to as many events as I can. So as long as it is financially feasible for me to do that and still make the rest of the trips we have planned, I'm going to be going to Mexico City for the calling. Yo, what's up, Michael? It's October. Okay, yo, John, what's up, dude? It is October. Okay. Yo, Donnie, I appreciate that. Since it's 1:30 on my end, but best of luck to everyone. Top it. I appreciate that. Come to calling Jakarta? Oh, I would love to. I would love to. I just like Mexico City is like, you know, like, I don't know. I would just never been to Mexico. So I would like to check that one off my list. But my wife has family in Ciudad de Mexico. Is that so? Please forgive me for being an uncultured American. Is that close to Mexico City? Already have your tokens, so nice. But why is there no seismic surge, Mr. Guardian? I know. I need to get a seismic surge token made for the stream. I need to get one made. I did see that Worlds is in Paris. I have never been to Paris. I gotta tell you, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make Paris happen. I have pretty much already used all of my time off at work. So I used 6 days to go to Japan. I'm using 5 days to go to the Dominican Republic to an all-inclusive with Carly. I'm going to use at least one. I'm using 1 day for nationals because I'm getting a late Thursday night flight and a late Sunday night flight. I am using at minimum 2 or 3 days for Vegas. And then we're going to take a couple days off at Christmas. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go to Paris, but I would love to be able to go to Paris if I can make that happen. I'm going to do everything I can to swing it, but I don't know if that's on the list yet or not. Trust me, I would love to go to Paris. I just don't know. I just don't know. Oh, I wish I was going to Prague, bro. but you haven't offered to show me around? That's right. Get him, John. Get him. Nice guy Ian out here just offering to show me around. Get him. No mercy. Sweep the leg. Okay. So let's talk about some things that are coming up. We'll do story time, and then we'll do a giveaway. So we got a couple of things that are coming up. Somebody asked me 2 weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago, I think, how much to pick your Pro Tour deck for Silver Age. And we joked, like saying, 100 gifted right now, basically $250 would, it would have cost you $500, but it would have been like $250 in my pocket, basically, is like the joke that we were making. And so I have decided that we are going to do a subathon over the month of May. And over the course of that subathon, if we hit 500 between Twitch subscribers and YouTube memberships that are like new memberships or people recurring, you all can pick my deck. We will vote on whatever you want, and you all can pick my CC deck for US Nationals. That is the deal that I have decided that I think like that is a high enough number to where, like, honestly, if I'm being real with you guys, this is not psychology. I don't think you're going to get to that number. But if you do, you can pick the 80 cards that I play at US Nationals, and we'll vote upon it as a community. That's the deal. That's the deal. Over the month of May, if we get to 500 YouTube memberships or Twitch subscribers, has to be shared notifications, you guys can pick my US Nationals deck and I'll submit it. Would be fun. 500 subs, pick the deck. 750 cosplay as that hero. Done. Done. 500, you all pick the list, exactly what I'll play. 750, I cosplay as it. Done. I don't love this for you. Okay, so I'm going to give you all a little bit of background here. These are not normally numbers I share with people, but I'm a pretty open person, so I'll just be honest with you guys. On Rose, thank you for the $2 super chat, by the way. Rose, thank you. I appreciate that. On Twitch, I would say that I normally have somewhere between 50 and 60 subs over the course of the month, like on an average. A good month would probably get to 70 or 80. Slow months is between 30 and 50. But normally somewhere between 50 and 60. So we're going to call it 50 to make it easy. I normally have somewhere between 80 and 100 YouTube members throughout the course of the month. So we're going to call it 80. So we're going to say on an average month, I have 130 paid subscriptions every month. You are talking about a little under quadrupling that. If you all quadruple that, I am willing to play whatever you all would like. Now, if you are on my team and you're watching this, you're probably hearing about it for the first time. I've not told anybody on the team this, but I've decided they're just going to have to live with it. So, listen. Delph, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Listen, if you guys think I won't play, I'll play whatever you guys pick. We can work out the list together. We can work out the list together on stream, and I'll submit that 80. Tell my cat to subscribe. Oh, man. Chat better than team. This is why he's the GOAT, Kafrika. I appreciate that. 501 subs, and we get to pick Taylor Crawford's deck, too. Oh, man, this is an awkward time to tell you Taylor's not going the Nats. Oh, man. Anyway, I wanted to talk about that. The other thing that we are bringing back, I'm going to say it's going to start in the month of May, but we're going to do this as like a May through June kind of thing. We did a video series last year called Road to Worlds, where basically for 2 months, 8 weeks, you got to see my testing. I showed you all the data. We were leading up to events. I was really going through and playing all the matchups. May through the end of June is going to be roads, or road. Yeah. Hang on. Sorry. May through the end of June is going to be Road to Pro Tour Las Vegas. Now, there were a couple of suggestions I got from people. We are going to be working on a few different decks, and as we continue to work on the decks, we are going to look at figuring out specific matchups instead of just looking at raw data. And so we're going to use a week-to-week basis to kind of test different things and like limit push different decks. Now, the best thing about this is that we're going to have omens for a lot of this time. So we're going to be able to test a lot of the different things from Omens of the Third Age to figure out our Pro Tour Las Vegas deck. And on top of that, US Nationals will be a great benchmark for us as a way to figure out where we're at and how we're feeling. So we're going to do an upgraded version of Road to Worlds, and we're going to call it Road to Pro Tour Las Vegas. Aurora wins Nats, not even close. Now, are you saying new hero Aurora, or are you saying Aurora from Flesh and Bed? I just want to make sure I understand. Sorry, I'm gonna have to go get some tissues. I took some Dayquil, hoping it would help me a little bit, but might have to go get some tissues after this. Wondering how you prepare the US Nats since it's also like Omen's release date. We're going to be doing a lot of drafting, and we're going to be doing a lot of just like theory crafting. Like we might have people from the team on streams as we get spoilers to kind of let you have an idea of how we work through decks. And we may have some stream sessions where I just pull in like 2 or 3 people and we all just kind of like look at deck lists and go over cards, maybe play a game or two together and just kind of walk through things. You meant the hero? Listen, if Aurora from Flesh and Bad won US Nationals, I would not be upset. Aurora, I love Flesh and Bad. They are great. They are absolutely great. If I gift you...
Some biddies, you say?
Wait. If I gift you, will the subs... Wait, I'm having a stroke. Are you trying to ask me if gravy is one of the options? If you gift all 500 subs? I mean, first off, if you gift all 500 subs, that's like $2,500. Like, that's insane. Like, I would not suggest you do that. That is a lot of money to gift that much things. But if you gift, like, I guess like we're living in a world where if you gift all 500, you can just pick the deck. Like, you pick the deck and I'll play it. I mean, like, if we get there as a group, the community will vote on what I will play and you guys will pick my deck list. But if one person does all 500, yeah, you can pick the 80. We're done right there. I mean, that's true. At that point, I'll just hit you with, like, you know, my personal PayPal or Venmo, and, like, we could just dodge all that nonsense. That's crazy. Now, listen, I don't listen. Listen, Rose grinds when it comes to work. I don't know if Rose has to take out a loan to make that kind of payment, though, dog, which is crazy. Pitch the 80, and it's all cracked. Oh, dude, if you picked all cracked baubles, I would want to cry. You have to at least give me like a weapon I could use, right? So I found out today that Zach is on the Roll of Honor for Aurora 1. Yes, I won a couple of ProQuests playing Aurora. So yeah, I should be on the Roll of Honor for Aurora 1, I'm pretty sure. At least, I hope I am. I won some ProQuests during that time. We're going to talk about some of the lessons I learned and how to improve with them later. Right now, let's talk about story time, and let's jump into my weekend at Pro Tour Yokohama. So we already talked about how you are 13 hours ahead in Yokohama compared to Eastern time in the United States. So we left the Tri-Cities. I think our first flight left at like 5 o'clock or 5:30, maybe, something like that. Anyway, We went from our local airport, which is called Tri-Cities, to Dallas-Fort Worth, Dallas-Fort Worth to LA. Well, we get to LA and we have like 2.5 hours before our next flight. So we're just big chilling. Our flight doesn't leave until 12:45 that night. So, or I guess that morning, technically, it is Wednesday morning when we are leaving at 12:45. Well, we get on the plane and they tell us they're waiting on maintenance paperwork. Well, we sat on the plane for 3 hours before they kicked us off. Well, they kick us off the plane. We get a hotel voucher. We sleep in a hotel for a little bit, like 4 or 5 hours probably. Come back the next day. Our flight was at 5 p.m. Well, we didn't really get to see LA, unfortunately, because there were some confusing things that happened with our flight. But we get on the plane after a 16-hour delay. We are on the plane going to Yokohama. We land in Yokohama. We were originally supposed to land in Yokohama Thursday at 4:30 a.m. Now, we did this so that we could stay up all day. We were going to stay up all day. We were going to hit stuff in Yokohama. We were going to have a great time, see all this stuff. We landed at 9 o'clock Thursday night. Well, when I learned all this, I'm panicking because I'm thinking, oh, I'm not going to make it to registration on Thursday night. They're not going to let me play in the Pro Tour. Well, thankfully, I emailed them and, I'm not the first person to miss Thursday. So they were kind enough to let me play, which was really nice. Worked out very well. So we land Thursday at 9 o'clock. I sleep like dog shit. I was stressed about oversleeping. I went to bed at a reasonable time. I think I went to bed around like 11 or 12 after we got into the hotel and everything. But I was worried about oversleeping. I woke up. I woke up at 1 o'clock in the morning. I had been asleep an hour and I thought my alarm was going off. So I got up to get ready. I was brushing my teeth. I started to shower and Carly's like, what the hell are you doing? And I was like, I'm getting ready. And she was like, what time is it? And I was like, my alarm just went off. And she was like, oh, well, my watch must not have reset. Carly has a smartwatch, so it did reset. Well, I went and looked and it's 1 o'clock in the morning. And so I'm like, Jesus, oh my God, like whatever. So I don't sleep very well. I get up, I get to the convention center. Well, I had pre-purchased cards from Tyler Broughton, Righteous Gaming, to have them for my Silver Age Ira deck. Now, thankfully, I'm not missing cards for my CC deck, so I just have to make sure that Tyler has the cards. Well, Tyler forgot the cards. So I'm missing like 7 or 8 CC cards, or I'm sorry, Sage cards. And I'm like, shit, I don't even have my deck put together. So I'm running around to the vendors trying to make it happen. Well, at first I was very upset at Tyler. I mean, in the hotel room, like the night before, I was pretty angry because I was like, Jesus, I'm not going to be able to play. It's going to be a whole thing. Well, turns out Tyler totally redeems himself and he's able to get all the cards. So he gets the cards to me the next morning. Shout out to Tyler for making that happen after everything that went on. So I have all my cards and I'm ready to play. So it has been an absolute disaster getting to the event hall. Like just getting there, getting the cards, making sure I had everything I needed to play. It's Friday morning now. It's Pro Tour morning. We are ready to start playing. Hang on. I have to go get some tissues. Give me 1 second. Here, I'm going to play some music for you guys. I'll be right back. I have to get some tissues. Yeah, we are so back. We are so back. Hey, Zovek, what's up, buddy? Okay. So, Friday morning, we're at the Pro Tour. I finally have all my cards. I'm ready to go. I sit down for my match, round one. My opponent flips over Gravy Bones. Actually, you know what? Let me get my codex journal out. We'll just walk through the event together. We'll talk about everything that happened. Now, if you are curious, I did do an in-depth update. I did do an in-depth update on my tournament report tab. So I do have my tournament report free metafy that I update everything on. So if you're curious, you can read my full thoughts there. This chair stream needs more donations, lol. So my round one was against Joel. He was playing Gravy Bones. Well, my opponent flips over Gravy Bones, round one of the Pro Tour, and I'm just like, So I was like, okay, we're not going to let this get us down. We're going to pull it together. We're going to play well, and we're going to get some wins. Well, the game started out in a pretty rough way. I was behind pretty early. I was not able to... I was not really able to like get any tempo going my way. I ended up being on defense. I was clearing the allies that mattered, attacking when I could. And there was one turn when I sent like a pummel upstairs to disrupt and do quite a bit of damage. But it just wasn't enough. My opponent was up in a very big way. It also turns out that later in the game, I found out my opponent, my Gravy Bones opponent, was on all 3 copies of Remembrance, which felt really bad. Like, knowing that they were on all 3 copies of Remembrance just, like, really hurt. That put me in a bad spot, meaning it was going to be very, very hard for me to fatigue them, which was basically going to be my only option from that point in the game. So I ended up losing. Sadly, we ended up losing. So we started off our day 0-1, but I'm just... Every time I look back on this game, I keep thinking to myself that I should have found a turn or a window where I tried to push the tempo, where I tried to push the tempo in an offensive way, do something to slow them down, disrupt them. I should have looked for a more offensive opportunity, and I guess that window just never really came up the way I wanted it to. So it was unfortunate, but I just was never able to get that window going, and I think that I, as a player, should have tried to force that window more. I should have been like, what does this game look like me? Like, what is this game, me winning this game? What does that look like? And I should have been looking for a line that allowed me to get into the driver's seat. And unfortunately, that just, I did not find that line. I didn't look hard enough. And so I ultimately think I ended up losing that game because of it. Yo, Balrog, thank you so much for the 2 months of Prime support over on Twitch. I appreciate that. Means a lot. Thank you. Round 2, I played the Victor Mirror. I actually played against my boy Pierre from Team Sigil. I believe he's on Team Sigil, if I remember correctly. Now, when the game ended, I did win the die roll, and I picked to go second. There are 2 big factors about this game that I feel like is why I lost. My opponent played all 3 copies of Pummel in their deck. I played 0. Now, I know that that's a very easy thing to fall back on, but that did feel like the biggest contributing factor. Their first Command and Conquer Pummel, their Command and Conquer came in for 6, and I had a Test of Strength, a blue in hand, and I ended up blocking 7. And what I should have done is I should have blocked 10 with 3 cards, saved all of my armor. My biggest concern about that play was if I don't win this, I have Shield Beater, so I'm not going to be able to make a play here if I don't win this clash. And I did end up winning the clash, and I ended up having to discard a card and lost a pummel from my arsenal, which cost me a lot of value. So I think that was mistake number 1. I'm also a little concerned that not being on Titan's Fist might have been incorrect. There were a lot of people who were on Titan's Fist for the mirror, because it was a 1-card play. It allowed them to block 9, swing the hammer. Maybe I overvalued Shield Beater too much going into this format. I did have a game where Shield Beater was very, very powerful for me on Saturday in the calling, but Shield Beater hurt me, and my lack of confidence in clashing against the mirror kind of hurt me. So I think that was my first real mistake during this matchup that I think cost me some points. LA is Zombieland. Oh, Flush and Bad is great. I agree. Yo, Daniel, what's up, buddy? Hey, Billy, what's going on, brother? Yo, the love of my life with 46 months over on Twitch. I had the best wife in the whole world. Thank you, baby. I appreciate it. So I moved on to 0-2. The other thing that I think was interesting about this matchup is that my opponent's deck was set up for the mirror a lot better. They were playing Rouse the Ancients and E-Strike as a going-in package, as to where I was only on E-Strike as my go-again package. So I do think that cost me a little bit. There was a turn where my opponent was able to go Rouse, E-Strike, go again into Hammer, which was pretty scary. I mean, just being able to throw like 16. Like, I know it's a 5-card 16, so it's not crazy above rate, but as a Guardian, that's a really good turn cycle. So I started the event 0-2, which was pretty scary. I was not feeling great about it, but we were going to do our best to try and like flip it around. After the 0-2 start, we ended up playing against Song. My opponent's name was Song, and they were playing Ira in round 3. Hang on one second. We're probably going to be doing that a lot the rest of the stream. I got a little sick flying back, and so like the cold is still following me around. So, yo, is that the Scott Mines in the chat? Yo, what's up, dude? Okay, so I ended up playing against Ira in round 3. I did have to reclash a couple of times. It was a very close game. We ended up having a very grindy game. I was able to go, or I lost the die roll and had to go first. I was at 6 when the game ended. I got to a point in the game where I was just trying to look to close the game. I did win a lot of my clashes pretty naturally in this game, but I did have to reclash a couple of times, which made gold main estates kind of weird at times, which is unfortunate. But we played a long, grindy game. I looked for my windows of opportunity to make things awkward. It's also worth noting that there were 2 turns where my opponent went Kodachi, Command and Conquer for 7, and tried to, like, arsenal a card or do something. And I had Test of Iron Grip or Test of Strength in a 3-block to cover effectively both times to save some armor, which was really, really nice. So we played a really close game, but I ended up closing it out with Golden Sun down the stretch. Pushed over Xaxes, if I remember correctly. Yeah, here we go. Round 4. So I lost to Gravy Bones round 1, lost to the Victor Mirror round 2, beaten Ira in round 3. Round 4, I played against Ashley. Ashley was on Volda. This is a matchup that I think is unfavored, but it actually ended up working out really well for me. Both of my staunch responses lined up as a world where I could pitch 2 blues and still have a turn on top of a pummel that Ashley tried to throw at me. So it lined up really well. Down the stretch, I was doing a decent job of like quote unquote, like fatiguing them. We were late in the game, so like a macho would have closed the game out from there. But I was trying to push damage, win the game, get things over the top. Solid Ground did a lot of work for my opponent. The Test of Strengths, 2 of them ended up lining up very well for me. And I had a Peck Perfect that I attacked with that ended up taking 2 cards out of my opponent's deck, which was really big. So I ended up winning my game against Volda, and I moved to 2-2 in the Pro Tour. And then in round 5, I played against Ben, who is playing Victor. This was my second mirror of the day. My allergies must be killing me today. I don't know what's going on. I've been sneezing all day. So I played the Victor Mirror. I had 2 of my pummels line up on Command and Conquer with Tunic up naturally both times, which worked out very well. A lot of the clashes went my way during the game. Our decks were set up in a very similar way. We were both on Shield Beater, I'm pretty sure. Like the deck was just set up in like a very, very similar way. And it just really worked out for me down the stretch. I won a clash into a Golden Sun, like, and just like made 2 gold off of some stuff. It was really good. It lined up super well. Like all the clashes just went my way. The pummels lined up my way. Staunch responses went my way. It was just one of those games where like nothing could go wrong for me. And it feels like it really showed down the stretch as we were playing out the game, because I had my opponent blocking way more than they wanted to be throughout the course of the game. Now, it's worth admitting that I was at 8 when the game ended, and there was a world where, like, you know, a couple of good Golden Sun turns could have closed the game out, but I ended up winning. Aggro Sneeze 96, bro, that's the next headband. So after an 0-2 start, we won 3 in a row to finish CC 3-2. Now, from here, I just need to go 2-1 to make day 2 playing Silver Age. Well, my first game of Silver Age, I played the Ira Mirror. I played against John, I believe is how you pronounce their name. I was at 1 when the game ended. I do not think the game started for me in like a very good way. Or I guess it started for me okay, but like turns 3 through 5, I would say were very awkward for me. Where my opponent was able to get ahead, apply a lot of pressure. Down the stretch, my opponent misread the life totals, which like they didn't ask to clarify. They just misread it. It was just one of those unfortunate things for them. It was just one of those things where like they just misread the life totals. They thought we were both at 1, but I was at 2 and they were at 1. So they blocked with a Growl. They kept Blue and Feign Vengeance. So they went 1, which I blocked with my arm piece or my headpiece, whatever it was. The headpiece that like blocks an extra 1 on Kodachi's. They throw Feign Vengeance at me for 1. I say no blocks, go to 1. They realize what happens, and then they throw Kodachi at 2 for me. I block 2, take every card out of their hand, and win the game from there a couple of turns later. But the thing that's interesting is that if they had kept a Growl, I would have had to give them 2 cards, which I do think changes the game a little bit, because I would have blocked with headpiece, card go to 1 card. And it just like their mistake won me the game in Silver Age, if I'm being honest. Yo, what's up, Raymond? So their mistake, honestly, is like what won me that game. It was a really close game other than that. They did have a clunky start where they had like all reds into all blues one turn, which was like the really like weird start to that game. Oh, also, I don't know if you guys can see it back here, but like behind me on my guitar, on my Pleiades guitar I have, that is my Sully ears for Monsters Inc. that I got when Carly and I went to Tokyo Disney Sea, which was a lot of fun. I wore around these Sully ears all day. It was awesome. I also ran into Michael Yassiger, Nick Butcher, Tark Patel, and Matt Rogers at Disney Sea, and I was chatting with him for a little bit. It was kind of funny because Michael Yassiger took a picture of me standing somewhere and was like, yo, are you at Disney? And I was like, yeah, lol. Like, why didn't you come say hi, weirdo? And like, we ended up running into each other later and talking to them for a bit. So it's just cool to like get to see like all these other people that love the game we love, getting to experience the world and all these things that you like. Mike Wazowski was not there. I wanted Mike Wazowski to be there so bad. So bad. Because no headband, you know what? That might check out coming from Michael. That would be hilarious. Yo, Candle, let's go with the 2 months of Prime. Candle, thank you so much for the 2 months over on Twitch. I appreciate that. Buy some allergy meds with this. Would you believe me if I said I've been taking an allergy pill every day for the last year and it still hits me? Like, it's still crazy. Yeah, Mike Wazowski was not there. I was pretty disappointed. I won't lie to you. I was pretty disappointed. Over under how long it takes me to go through this box of tissues. I'm allergic to our cat. Well, I'm not allergic to Taryn, thankfully, but I get it. My sister's allergic to cats, so. Stream sponsored by Allegra when? Okay. Oh, yeah. No, I had a great time in Japan, Raymond. I hope you're having a great time. I know you've been there for, like you said, after the PT, right? So I hope you're living it up, brother. Hope you're living it up. So anyway, we moved to 4-2. I have 2 chances at a win and into day 2 of the Pro Tour, which is a very similar story to Pro Tour Singapore, which we're going to talk about in just a little bit. Round 7. So we're both X and 2. I played against Lucas. Shout out to Brazil, Team Pummel Party. Lucas was playing Riptide. If you have ever played Ira into Riptide, it is one of the worst matchups you have in the format. Almost all of their traps are on. Whether it is Go Again or Buff Power on the second chain link, it's awful. It's cursed. Now, there was a point in the game where I was at 12 and my opponent was at 4. I'm going to walk you through how this game ended. My opponent has a turn where I have all reds, and I'm like, okay, I can either keep 2 cards, throw 4 at them, or throw 5 at them, and then pass, or if they do something relevant, I can block out, hope they have, like a junker, and then we can try to keep going through, right? Well, I block out because they have a very high impact turn, stay at 12. Pass to my opponent. Their hand is awkward. They stare at it for a few minutes. Then, after a while, after like a minute, like not a long time, they activate their hat. They were playing Hope Merchant's Hood. Well, they shuffle in 3 cards, draw 3 cards, and proceed to go Ravenous Rabble, activate Bow, Swift Shot for 4. So they go 4-4, and then they go Pump, load an arrow, throw 7 at you. Throw 7 at me. So they threw 15 at me after a turn where they drew 3 traps, I'm pretty sure. So ended up being really bad for me. I ended up having to block out again, and then I had like 2 blocks in hand, so I still took quite a bit of damage, which maybe at that point in time, I am supposed to like take some damage and fall down to like 6 and then just throw something back at them to force cards out of their hand. I don't know. I think that might have been a mistake on my part, if I'm being honest. Not just like eating some of the damage. But I got to a point where I was like, okay, I'm winning. I'm doing well. I need to block, force the issue here, make them have it, and then try to recover from there. And they had it. So it felt unfortunate to lose the game. But maybe if on those 2 turns, I leak a little bit of damage on each turn and I go, here's a 1 for 5. Maybe there's a world where I can still win that game. Maybe there's a world where I can still make that happen. So it was very unfortunate that it lined up that way for me, but I do think I could have played better and won. I don't know if I could have won, but I could have played better. I think there was better lines available to me, and not finding those is the difference between doing well and not doing well to Pro Tour. Yo, Almond Rose, thank you so much for the 5 months over on Twitch. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. It means a lot. Thank you. So I am 4-3 now. Last round of the PT, I played against Alberto, who was playing KO. This game hurt a lot. I won't lie to you. This game hurt a lot. My second turn of the game, I was forced to take damage all the way down to 8. Because I was like, okay, or down to 9. Because I had a hand that was 5 cards, 22 points wide. And I was like, okay, this hand's giga broken. We have to run it out there. And I did. I took all my opponent's cards. I took full tempo. I was in a great spot. My opponent went down to like 4 or something like that. Or no, I'm sorry, 5. They went down to 5. And so my opponent's at 5. I draw 4 blues. So I draw 4 1 power attacks that block 3 with no go again. I've already used my Crouching Tiger. I've already used the Arm Piece. I can't apply any more pressure. So I go Kodachi for 2, 1. My opponent goes to 1 and then throws enough at me to force every card out of my hand. And then from there, my back is against the wall and I'm blocking the rest of the game. I don't remember the exact turn they threw at me, but it was upwards of like 18 or 20 points that they threw at me after they went to 1. And then from there, I was not able to recover. So it was very unfortunate. Or no, I'm sorry, they went to 2, not 1. They were at 6, not 5, and then they went to 2. So they were at 2 when the game ended, and because I drew quad blues, I'm pretty sure that's what cost me the game. Now, I really don't want to just sit here and blame variance. But if I draw like a single red, I rip 1 to 2 cards out of my opponent's hand, and it's a completely different game. So it's very unfortunate that it lined up the way that it did. I kind of hate that it lined up the way that it did. But there's nothing I can really do about that. I could have potentially tried to take more damage. I'm pretty sure my opponent ripped every card out of my hand on the turn when I was blocking back. But I guess if they didn't, I could have tried to have taken more damage and like applied pressure somewhere. But I'm pretty sure they ripped every card out of my hand because I was already down to 9 or 8 or something. So it was just pretty unfortunate. So that was how my Pro Tour ended. I was pretty down about my Pro Tour ending through such a variance riddled last 2 games. I think I could have played better in both CC games that I lost. Don't know if I win them, but I think I could have played better in both CC games that I lost and really made like a push to be 4-1 going into CC. Or I'm sorry, going into Sage. Now, who knows what would have happened from there? But I could have played better in CC. My 2 losses in Silver Age felt very high rolly, very bad. But I'm still a believer that I could have played better somewhere, and I should have looked for better lines. So it was pretty disappointing to end my tournament like that, but it is what it is. Went 4-4 at the PT, and decided, you know what, we will play in the calling tomorrow. We'll try to run it back, and we'll try to just, improve on things from yesterday. Now, if you saw my recap videos, you know that my calling was honestly a pretty short run. I did not really have a great calling. I went 1-3 and dropped, but we're going to talk about all the games, and we're going to talk about some lessons that I learned during the rounds that I played. So round 1, excuse me, I played against CYK Lionel. Now, CYK Lionel was on the Fatigue Victor deck. Not the full crazy Fatigue Victor deck. It was like this hybrid build of things. They were playing things like Red Boulder Drop. They were playing things like Command and Conquer. They were playing things like Cartilage Crush. They had a lot of these 2-card 7 plays in their deck, which was really interesting. And they were trying to attack me, but I ended up winning the game. On turn 0, I decided to gamble and throw my Peck Perfect at my opponent. Well, they blocked with 1 card on turn 0, and I hit their Riches of Tropeldani off the top of their deck. Hitting their Riches of Tropeldani was insanely good variance for me. That cost them so much value over the course of the rest of the game. It is crazy to sit and think about how much that switched things up and how well that worked out for me over the course of the game. But yeah, I ended up winning this game against CYK Lionel. Our game was a really good one. I do not think I am favored in these fatigue-ish style Victor matchups. My opponent had multiple defense reactions on my Command and Conquer Pummel turns, both times they lined up. I was forcing a ton of equipment on these turns. I was chewing through their armor. It lined up really well for me. And then we were just able to close the game out late to be able to get there across the finish line. I was at 8 when the game ended. So we started off 1-0 playing Victor in the calling. Now that you've played Sage at a tier 4, what are your thoughts compared to LL or Blitzer Limited as the alternate formats? So we are going to talk about this, but we'll take a break from story time and talk about this now, I guess. I'm okay with that. So I love Silver Age. I love what Silver Age is doing for the game. It is introducing this entire new player base. Here's your $20 ticket to the World Tour. And I love that. I love that we're having showdowns. I love that we're having it at like some of these bigger tournaments. After losing 2 potential win-and-in games to day 2 of the Pro Tour to what felt like hard, riddled variants, I do not think that Silver Age is a tier 4 format. I love Silver Age for showdowns. I even don't mind it for callings. ProQuest season, banger idea. RTN season, banger idea. I love it. I do not think it belongs at the Pro Tour or at Worlds. Having lost 2 games to what feels like out of my control feels really bad. So that is kind of my stance on Silver Age. I hope they continue to push Silver Age. I hope they can continue to get Silver Age in front of players. I love that we are bringing players to the game. Silver Age is a great product, and it is doing wonderful things for the game that we love. I just don't think it belongs at tier 4s. Now, we got a big hydrate. I missed a big hydrate earlier, too. Sorry, guys. I don't think Silver Age is different than Limited for a split event. I could be wrong. So, my opinion, and this is an opinion that a lot of people disagree with, I think that Draft is the singular most skill-expressive format in any trading card game, bar none. I don't think it's close. You have variance in Draft when people open bombs or this or that, but ultimately, Draft is so skill-intensive, in my opinion, because you have to draft the deck, you have to read the signals for what people are passing to you, which I think is a very, very high skill thing to do. And then you have to play the games. And the thing that I like about it is that Limited is designed with 20 life in mind. You are doing so many more powerful things in Silver Age than you are in Draft. So I don't really feel like Limited, like Draft Limited and Silver Age, I don't really feel like saying they're the same thing as a great comparison. I understand that Draft is not perfect and it has its issues, but I have been for a long time, and I will continue to believe that Draft is the single most skill-expressive format in any trading card game. I believe that about Magic. I believe that about Flesh and Blood. I continue to feel that way. So that's kind of like where I'm at. How do you deal with attack reaction heroes? I've been struggling with them with Victor. So I mean, Jan, it's tough, you know? Like, I think Fang is all about accumulating points of damage over the game, right? So you have to let a little bit of damage leak. So like, I am someone who very rarely like blocks 6 against Fang. I'm a firm believer in block 1 and let them do their thing. Like block 3, let them do their thing. Block 4, let them do their thing. Hang on. Sorry, guys. Tissues is the price of me streaming while I'm sick. Yo, what's up, Audia? So I understand that not everybody likes draft or feels the same way that I do. And like, I'm not saying that I'm definitively correct, but I have a very like hard and fast opinion about draft. And I continue to believe that draft is the way to go. Like, I like draft a lot. Does the variance just feel worse because it's a 20 health format without the armor fridges from Blitz? So Scott and I were having a conversation and talking about this, and he was telling me about something that Paul Van Geisel, I believe is how you say his last name, said to me. That Silver Age feels worse at times because it highlights your mistakes like in a much clearer fashion, because you don't have the time to recover, and so your 20 life, that resource runs up fast. I really like that analogy, and I think that's a very good way to look at the format. And again, I can go back and I can kind of like be like, variance, but I can also kind of point to turns where I could have done something differently, I think. And it shows. Going 1 and 2 in Silver Age, like, I hate to say this, but like, I'm pretty good at draft. I like draft, and I'm not bad at it. I'd like to believe I could have went 2 and 1 in draft. In fact, I do most of the time when I go to events like this. So I don't know. It's just one of those. I would just prefer draft to other 20 life formats, but not everybody feels that way. Again, I love Silver Age. I think it's great for the game. After having experienced it at a tier 4, I hope they step away from it for the rest of the year for tier 4, and we do CC and draft the rest of the year. Big hydrate because I love y'all. Big hydrate because I love y'all. Yo, Grinch, I appreciate that. Thank you very much for the kind words. It means a lot. Yo, giving away one of the gold foils hammers would be crazy. I do not like Silver Age, nor do I like draft personally. Just not good enough at it. But I would 100% take draft over any Sage event. So I think a few people feel that way. But again, like, Flesh and Blood is a skill expressive game. We are seeing the best players in the world in top 8s consecutively. Huge shout out to Evan Herndon. Love to see him do well. Evan is a homie. I talk to Evan at almost every event. Evan was one of the first people to console me after my loss at Pro Tour London. He was one of the first people watching. So Evan was just kind of standing there hanging out, and like, I don't know. Like, Evan and I have like, I don't talk to Evan, but like probably 3 or 4 times a year. Like, I see him at events and stuff like that. But like, I don't know. Evan's a homie, so I'm super happy to see Evan win. It's super awesome to see him win. Okay. We've talked about Sage a little bit. We talked about some things. Let's go. Bringe with a 15 stream watch streak. Thank you. Never drafted Fab. I'm very curious. Our small group loves Fab, but are scared to draft. If Silver Age and CC is so complicated, we can't Phantom to draft. Don't get me wrong. Like, Phantom drafting is tough. You should draft in the Runaway server online. You can draft through Talishar and Draftmancer. It's great. Okay. Round 2 of the calling. I played against Johnny, who was playing Dash.io. Let me preface what I'm about to talk about with, I have zero hard feelings towards Johnny. I do not think that Johnny did any of the things that happened during our match intentionally, but there were some things that happened during our match that I am going to air out because they put me on tilt. I played poorly down the stretch, and I lost because of it. And I think it's important to have this conversation. So, to start the game, Johnny won the die roll and picked to go first. Their first turn was Plasma Mainline. Their second turn was Teklo Pounder, put a counter on it from mainline, Convection Amplifier off the top. Next turn was Teklo Pounder. Turn after that was like Teklo Pounder, Teklo Core. So the first 4 turns of the game were the perfect setup for Johnny, which is like what they need a lot of times to win this game. We are playing the game. We are going through the match. And as we are going through the match, my opponent, Johnny, was taking his time making decisions. Now, as the Dash.io player, you get the hard job. I used to make the same joke when I played Oldham during Lexi meta. I used to say, I get it. Take your time. You're playing the hard part of this matchup. I'm playing brr block. True. There were 3 times during the game when I had to push Johnny to make a play because time had went by and I would be like, 9 minutes left, need you to make a play. 15 minutes left, need you to make a play. And this happened about 3 times over the course of the game, later in the game. We get to the last turn of the game. My opponent has a yellow boom grenade on top. My hand is 3 block, 3 block, 3 block test of strength. There is 1 maximum velocity in their deck. There is a card in their arsenal. It's been there for 2 turns. Yellow boom grenade to start the turn. Takes the counter off. I would like to say that the second or third time I should have called a judge. And I am constantly preaching that to you all. And I should have called a judge. I don't think calling a judge is a negative thing. I don't think it's a bad experience for anybody. I should have called a judge and been like, Judge, I'm worried about us running out of time. My opponent is thinking. I understand. But we have to play within the time constraints of the clock. We get to the last turn of the game. Yellow boom grenade is the only thing in play. The other thing to keep in mind is that there is 1 red boom grenade left in my opponent's deck. My opponent goes 3 go again. Block 3. No item off the top. My opponent goes 2 go again. Block 3. No item off the top. My opponent goes 3 go again. I'm looking at a 3 block and a test of strength. They have floating resources, and they have 1 card in arsenal. Nothing in hand. I block 3. My opponent closes the combat chain, activates Teklo Foundry Heart. Oh, my headset just died. Banish 2 cards off the top of the deck. Play Boom Grenade off the top of their deck. Maximum velocity. I am at 13. I block 4. Take 6 down to 7. Yellow and red Boom Grenade blow up. I take exactly 7. The relevant part of this story, and we're going to walk back through this a little bit here, is that there are 2 minutes left on the clock when my opponent's last turn starts. I am feeling the pressure of the clock. I am trying to play as rapidly as I can. I win the game if I go block for 3 on their 0 for 3. Block for 3 on their 0 for 2. Block for 4 on their 0 for 3 on Chain Link 3. Win with a Command and Conquer. I'm now holding 6 block in my hand. They attack me, they activate, put the Boom Grenade into play, activate, they throw Max V. I block 6, go down to 9, Boom Grenades blow up, and I live. I misblocked down the stretch that cost me the game because I was playing as rapidly as I can. Now, I was on tilt at the end of the game. I'm playing as quick as I can. And I had a winning line. If I had stopped and thought about it, if I had had my time that I wanted to be able to take a moment to think about the line. I would like to imagine that I would have found that line. I don't know for sure. I can only speculate. This is a very important story for everybody listening at home. If you have an opponent who is playing slow, whether it's on purpose or not, and I would like to reiterate, I don't think Johnny played slow on purpose. I don't think they were angle shooting or out to get me or trying to like milk the clock. I think they were thinking, and they played a very good game. They were a very good Dash.io player. I should have called a judge. If a judge would have gotten involved, I probably would have had the time at the end of the game to think about the things that I needed to have happen, and I might have been able to get out of the game. So this is just, I tell this story because I need you all to know that it is okay to call a judge. I should have, and me not calling a judge probably cost me the game. Would I have won? I have no idea. But I would like to imagine that if I had had 60 seconds, 30 seconds to think about that turn, I would have found the right line and I would have blocked correctly. Now, I don't know. Obviously, I could never say for certain. Who knows what would have happened? But so it's a little disappointing to lose that game that way, but it is what it is. Again, I have nothing against my opponent. I think they were just thinking and playing the game out and trying to get to the end game state. So, Johnny, if you end up watching this, please know that this is not a bad reflection on you. This is just me sharing my experience about our game. So I'm 1-1 in the calling. I am on tilt pretty hard because I lost the game that I feel like I should have won. Round 3, I played against my boy Raymond from South Carolina. I told him, I said, dog, I said, you could have just came over to the house and we could have just played some games. This game was almost laughable to me at how bad it felt. So I start the game off with a peck perfect for 9. And I'm like, okay, we're cooking. This is what we're talking about. This is what we needed to see. This is going to turn our tournament back around. There's a miss on top of my deck. Well, there's a miss on top of Raymond's deck too, because he's playing Fang. Playing Fang, round 3. Are you still dead to the pistol in that in-game scenario anyway? Block 4, block 6. I'm at 13. Take 4 to 9. Take 7 to 2. No cards, no armor. Yes. Yes, I am. As long as my opponent cranks the boom grenade and adds the counter, I'm dead to the gun. Right? Max V's for 10. I'm at 13. I block 6, take 4 to 9, take 7, down to 2, die to the gun. No, yeah, you're right. I would have died to the gun regardless. The boom grenade did come from the top of the deck. I'm assuming at this point in the game, my opponent would have cracked the boom grenade. Yeah. No, you're right. So I was not going to win that game. I was dead to the gun because I had blocked with my Tunic the turn prior, trying to like stay off of a big hit. So yeah, no, you are right. Justin, good catch. I'd been so dooming about me making the wrong play that I had never considered that I could not win the game from there. So yeah, looks like in that spot, even if I make the correct block on that turn, I still cannot win the game, which I think makes me feel a little bit better. But I still wish I would have made the better play. And you are correct. That's not the point of the story. But yes, good catch. Thank you for that, Justin. I do appreciate you pointing that out. Yeah, okay. So we could not, from the position we were in, we could not have won the game against Dash no matter what. Okay. Makes me feel a little bit better. Okay. So I throw a peck perfect at Raymond, my Fang opponent in round 3. I flip over a miss. And I'm like, well, crap. That sucks. Break my gold off of Crown of Dominion. Put that to the bottom. Flip another miss. Nobody milled any cards off of a peck perfect on turn 0. I was ready to cry. It was awful. That was the first of 3 tied clashes during mine and Raymond's game. Now, like, I didn't lose any. We tied all of them. But tied 3 clashes with a Fang after reclashing. That was how my round 3 went. For context, Raymond was at 21 when the game ended. 21. That was how bad the game was. It was tough. Me and Raymond were laughing because Raymond got his get back during our game. I bullied Raymond a couple of times during RTN and ProQuest season when he was playing Dorinthia and I was playing Victor, and he got his comeback. He got his comebacks. Become a judge and judge your own plays. Big brain move, yo. So yeah, Raymond got his get backs, and I moved to 1 and 2. Now, this is probably the funniest part of the story because I played a round 4 according to Jim. Yo, what's up, Keaton? But there's nothing in my book about a round 4. And let me tell you why. My opponent sits down in for round 4. I am tilted into oblivion because I think that I messed up and I could have won the game round 2. I also am like tilted to oblivion because of the cursed clash luck in round 3 against a warrior. Sit down. My opponent does not speak English. Now, that is only relevant for what I'm about to tell you. I'm in Japan. I understand people don't speak English everywhere in Japan. I'm not like upset, but it's important for what I'm about to tell you. I pull out Victor and he's like, "Oh, Victor." And I'm like, "Yep." And he goes, "Gravy Bones," and pulls out his hero. And I go, "Good game." Literally, I'm not joking. I didn't sideboard. I didn't do anything. I said, "Good game." My opponent does not understand and says, "Oh, good luck," thinking I'm wishing them good luck. Well, they start sideboarding, and I'm putting my deck box away. I put my deck box into my backpack. I report that I lost, and I hit drop me after, and I show them. And I go, "I conceded, you win." And they were really confused. So he continues to sideboard. We get a judge involved. And at this point, he is now understanding that I am conceding because I do not want to play the game. And we are sitting there talking. And he tells me that he's worried that a judge will report me for like, I still don't really understood like where that came from. I think it was them being nice, but I don't understand. So I've conceded. I have hit drop me after a judge walks up. Like we're in a calling. $5,000 to first place. And I don't even attempt to play the game. The judge comes over. I explain the situation. I go, "Hey, judge, just want to clarify with you. I am conceding. I am dropping from the tournament. My opponent has won the match." And they're looking, keep in mind, the judge is looking at me like my hair's on fire. And I'm like, I'm playing Victor. They're playing Gravy Bones. I don't have any tech. This is not a question I need answered. And if you want the truth, I'm on tilt pretty hard from the last couple of rounds. So I'm going to save my mental, go get some lunch, and my opponent wins. They look at me and they're like, "You're sure?" And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure. So, excuse me. They get a translator involved for my opponent. The best part of this story, after this happens, my opponent and I walk out of the convention center, up the escalator together, and we are walking like 5 feet apart from each other to the 7-Eleven to get a snack. Turns around, sees me on the escalator, and just like waves. And I was like, "Hey, like, how are you?" Like, and he just turned back around. It was the craziest experience I've ever had at a calling. And I felt so bad for my opponent because I'm sure they were confused as hell. But yes, then we had to ride the escalator together after that. So, yeah, that was my calling experience. So, Carly and I went to dinner. We had like one of those like big like where you cook the meat yourself. I don't remember what it's called. It wasn't like the pot one, like where you put the meat in the pot. It was like the little grill where you cook it. And like I think like 7 of us went to dinner and had like this big like meat tray. It was awesome. It was great. It was relatively cheap. 7 of us had like a 7-course like meat tray that you cooked on the thing, and it was like $250 for all of us. It was insane. It was such a good price. So great dinner. I've had very poor results. Let's jump to the showdown for day 2. My round 1 opponent for day 1 for the showdown is Dash. Now, my opponent's name was Sam. The hilarious part is that Sam's a fan of the channel, and Sam and I had been talking a couple times this weekend, and we were talking about how he was just there hanging out, like he wasn't really grinding, he was just getting some games in, just there to hang out and have a good time, which was awesome. Like, I love that. We pair into each other round 1. He absolutely rolls me. I mean, obliterates me. My opponent goes second. Like, Sam rolls me in the first like 3 to 4 turns of the game, looks at me and says, I'm going to concede because I'm going to drop in a little bit and go hang out with my wife. I just wanted to practice. And I was like, you don't have to do that, because the last thing I want is someone to feel like obligated because I'm a streamer or, I'm like a person of influence in the community. I would never want that in any capacity. And so I got just absolutely obliterated round 1. We played a second game that I won, but my opponent ended up conceding. So I won round 1, even though I lost round 1. So I was 1-0 in the showdown by all of the scorecard standards, which I think is important. Yeah, you're welcome. I had a great time at dinner. I'm glad we all got to go and hang out at dinner. I agree. Big W from Sam. Sam was really cool. It was nice to talk to him and his wife. His wife actually went out and got donuts later that day, and he brought me one back. That was super nice. It was filled with some kind of cream. I have no idea what it was, but it was delicious. It was delicious. I also got candy. Somebody brought me Japanese candy. I've never heard of it before, but I was told it's very common in the States. It's called Hi-Chew, like Hi-Chew, CHEW. It was this berry flavored like little like sweet like candy, almost looked like gum, but you ate it. And somebody just gave this to me. It was amazing. I devoured the entire pack of this stuff. I've never had Hi-Chew before, but it was so good. I was telling Carly about it. I was like, oh my God, I should have saved you some, but I ate the whole thing in 10 minutes. It was amazing. It was absolutely great. It was goated. Also, big shout out to Josh Scott for hooking me up with some of that New Zealand chocolate. Yo, I have, it's called like jelly tip chocolate or something like that. It's in the fridge. Carly and I are waiting to eat it. I'm waiting until I get over this cold. But shout out to Josh for hooking me up with some cool chocolate. That was awesome. I love that. Dude, I know. Listen, I've taken allergy pills every day. Like while we were gone, when we got back, I don't know what is up with my allergies. But it is what it is. I guess Josh is technically a judge. I think of Josh as the guy who writes the rules. I don't think of him as a judge, but I guess he is like the Omega judge. I guess it's true. I got 10th at the showdown. If only I had lost like a round later. Oh, yo, you got 10th at the showdown, Lee? Ugh, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, man. Hey, you still cash though, right? Cash is like what, 125 or something? That's not bad. Not a bad way to spend your Sunday. Okay, round 2. I played against Tyler, who was playing Oldham, who is actually friends, locals, with our boy Martin, who does all of my altars for all of my like personal tokens for my decks and stuff. So that was really cool. We got to chat about that. Tyler was like just a blast to talk to. Like, don't get me wrong, I had fun talking to my opponents all weekend. It was all like good, fun banter. But like, Tyler was just hilarious. I'm just going to level with you guys. Like, me and him were like cutting up and laughing the whole time. He was playing Oldham. It was pretty cursed from the start. It did not feel great. Like, it was pretty bad. Tyler was on Calming Breeze. I'm going to say that again. Calming Breeze, in case you didn't hear it. I got juiced. I was not ready for that card. I will say the one thing I learned is that I was on 1 red Blessing of Ki in the sideboard. I should have been on at minimum 2 red Blessing of Ki and maybe some yellows. Oh, yeah, dude. I got rolled. Dude. Calming Breeze, like, I got juiced, dog. Juiced. But yeah, so it was just... Yeah, it was just one of those games. I think Tyler ended the game at 6, but I'm pretty sure he took that damage to kill me. Like, I don't think I did damage to Tyler for like the first like 3 or 4 turns of the game. It was kind of crazy. And the only turns that I did damage early were the turns when he did not have Earth React to stop the first Kadachi. So I just like, yeah. I got juiced. I was 1-1. Round 3, I played against Maurice, who was playing Phi. I'm very jealous of people who are playing Phi in Silver Age. I think I'm just going to play Phi in Silver Age. Like, for skirmish season, I think I'm just going to grip it and rip it and just play Phi. The deck is so much fun. I love playing it. It's just such a fun hero. It takes me back to, like, the things that I love. So, like, I think I'm going to go back to playing Phi in Silver Age. I really enjoy the hero. It's just a lot of fun to play. So I think I'm going to go back to playing that. So I am going to start playing more Phi. I did get to go second. And I was able to win. Going second, I had a humble disruption. And I got to Arsenal, and then my second turn was 18 points wide with more disruption. Like, it was insane. My draw was just the nuts, and I still almost lost the game. Like, I felt like I was in control of the game, but I did go all the way down to 2 to be able to close it out. So it was a close game, going second, good draws, won me the game. I'm 2-1, round 4. I'm playing against CYK Lionel. I'm going to spoil the game for you. He got his get back in this game from our match in the calling yesterday. So CYK Lionel was playing Briar. He ended the game at 3. I did have the chance to go second. One of the things that I learned about this game is that the yellow and red Sigil of Suffering is very good because Ira is such a resource efficient deck. You are looking to like block and go 1-1-5 or 1-7, like random things like that. So I got by Sigil of Suffering a lot because I needed all of my resource. Yo, Havoc, what's up, dude? Michael, how are you enjoying Dash and Silver Age? Talk to me, Goose. Talk to me, Goose. I love that everybody sees Scott's name and he gets so excited. Like, you all, like, that is a very, like, real reaction to hanging out with Scott. I had a chance to have breakfast with Scott on Friday morning, and I got to tell you guys, like, Scott's just as cool in person. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I know a lot of people say never meet your heroes, and I'm sure people have met me at bad times and have maybe not had the best experience with me, but, like, Scott's amazing. If you ever get a chance to talk to Scott, you should. Like, Scott's great. I enjoyed having breakfast with him. So I lost to CYK Lionel. I had a really good turn that got me a lot of tempo, and then I drew quad reds, and I went like 4-6 or something like that, and like I just kind of lost the tempo from there. It was pretty awkward, unfortunately. So I didn't feel too bad about it because at this point in time, I ended up dropping from the event because I would have had to have one out to potentially cashed. There was no top 8 chance at this point. There was 10 rounds. 10 rounds of Showdown. I am 2-2. I would have had to have won 6 games in a row to have a chance at cashing the Showdown, which is crazy. So I dropped, played in the Gravy Bones event, had a great time. I played Victor in this Gravy Bones event, went 3-1. My one loss was to Austin Summers playing Gravy Bones. Picked up an extra Gravy Bones for one of my locals that I cut a pretty good deal on it for. They wanted one, and I'm like happy to cut locals deals on cards and stuff like that. I did end up buying the souvenir package, which was pretty nice. Buying the souvenir package was nice. But yeah, just I enjoyed my Sunday. Damien and I had a chance to record a recap video on Sunday. If you did not watch it, please go watch at some point. Maybe not right now, but at some point. You need to go watch the day 3 recap video with me and Damien. Damien does not know how to eat a hot dog. It is confirmed. You should watch that video. It was hilarious. Oh, I will say my Sunday evening did end on a pretty shitty note. As far as like cards are concerned. So I bought 2 binders for a local of mine, my buddy Silas. I bought 2 binders for him. One was the Compendium of Wraith one, and one was the LSS one. And then I bought a blue the light blue Pro Tour Yokohama shirt as like a white, because right now I'm wearing my Singapore shirt. Like, hang on, this one's my Singapore shirt. But I bought this light blue extra large shirt as a way to commemorate the trip. I was talking to someone on Sunday night. They asked me to take a picture with them. I sat the bag down to take a picture with them. Well, I forgot I was carrying this bag because I'm not used to it. I left it sitting on a table where like the judges were at and the main stage was at. Walked all the way back to my hotel room. Realized when I got back to the hotel room, I didn't have it. Ran back to the convention center. I was gone 20 minutes and it was gone. I went to the Lost and Found. I was asking random players. I was like, hey, did you grab a bag by mistake by any chance? Do you care to look? Like, not, saying anything, and just nobody ever turned it in. I never found my bag. Somebody just hawked my shit. Which was, don't get me wrong, it is on me for forgetting that my bag was there, but I'm pretty sad that all of my stuff got stolen. I really like having those t-shirts as a way to commemorate being on being there and stuff like that. I think I'm going to reach out to LSS and ask them if I can buy one from them since my stuff got stolen. It was a pretty crappy way to end my weekend. Unfortunately, I was pretty sad about it. Shout out to Carly for putting up with my grumpy ass the rest of the night because I was down pretty bad. Yeah, it kind of sucked that's how my weekend ended with my bag being stolen. I posted in purple. I went to the table the Lost and Found to try and find it, and there was I didn't find it, so. It feels bad that somebody just hawked my stuff. The one thing that I will say is to the person that hawked all my stuff, I hope your life's going better because you needed that stuff more than I did. So I hope that if you taking my stuff and selling it, or using it, I hope you're getting good value out of it. I hope it's turning your life around because I don't know. I don't need to steal people's stuff. So I hope that it is filling whatever you needed to fill in your life at the current moment. So anyway, and then on Monday, Curly and I went to Disney Sea. We had a freaking blast. It was amazing. Somebody commented on one of my posts and said, I've been saying all weekend that even when you lose, you're winning because you're in Japan. Based to shit. We had a great time. We enjoyed Disney. Disney Sea, Tokyo Disney Sea was amazing. We had a phenomenal time. We had dinner at this ramen restaurant. Absolute banger. It was great. Yeah, I don't know if they have surveillance cameras. I mean, yeah, I'm assuming that it was an honest mistake and somebody got home and was like, "Oh shit, this is somebody's stuff." So, if you watch this and you accidentally grabbed a bag and it has one of the Compendium of Wraith binders, the black LSS binder, and it has a extra large blue Pro Tour Yokohama shirt, I will pay for you to ship it to me. Like, I'll send you more than it costs for you to ship it to me. I don't mind. Like I would like my stuff back. The binders were for a buddy, and the shirt was so that I could commemorate the trip one day down the road. So if you happen to have grabbed it by accident, like, please, reach out to me, DM me, whatever it is. I will happily pay to have it shipped to me. Thanks, Lee. I appreciate it. That's true. I did not lose all my cards. Somebody on Reddit got an entire deck stolen. See, that's awful. I hate that for people. Okay. We've talked about my story time. I've yapped for almost 2 hours. I apologize. Who wants to do a giveaway? Who wants to do a giveaway? I gotta get everything set up over here. We gotta log in to the Nightbot on YouTube. If you would like to participate in the giveaway, it's completely free. I'm going to show you all of the stuff. You need to be on YouTube. You need to be on YouTube. So what's going to happen is I am going to give you a keyword, and you're going to have to type it in the chat. If you are on Twitch, !YT will get you the link to YouTube. Make sure you come hang out. What we're going to be giving away, we're going to be giving away a set of the custom Agroblaze tokens. So you have a Gold Kiss Rum, a Frostbite, a Gold, a Silver, a Golden Cog, a Marked, and a Might token. So we have all of those tokens. And then for anybody who missed it earlier, we have a mat from an artist that was there. It is a custom mat that they did. It is all 3 of the elemental defense reactions from Compendium of Wraith on one mat. I think I'm getting it in there. I think I got it in there. It's all 3 of the cards on one mat. I managed to snag one. I did not get the artist to sign it, unfortunately. This is not a US giveaway or anything. It does not matter where you are. I am happy to ship it to you. Even if you're somewhere else in the world, you do not have to be in the US. So I think the word that we should use, and let me get this typed in here really quick so you guys will have it. Let's see. We can, we'll do everybody. We're gonna do Yokohama. We're gonna do Yokohama. So all you have to do is type in the word Yokohama. I think I can just click done. Yeah, there we go. So that's all you have to do. You're hanging out in chat and you want to be entered in the giveaway, just type in the word Yokohama and you will be entered. I'm going to give you guys 30 seconds to do all this. I have to use the bathroom. Enjoy the Be Right Back screen. I will be back in just a minute. And when I get back, we're going to do the giveaway. Thanks for hanging out tonight, guys. Full access to roast me. You have another 60, I guess you could say you have another 67 seconds. 6-7. Kyle requested 5 subs of water. Fucking weeb. It was not water. That was not water.
Here, have some water.
I was lied to. The lies. That scream just made Summer jump. Ian, please tell Summer I'm very sorry. What the fuck? We're gonna die? It was... Come on. Oh, T-Talks, I'm so good at this game. Okay, we have returned. We have returned. All right, don't forget. Don't forget, Yokohama. We're typing in the word Yokohama to potentially win this giveaway here. And then we are going to pull a winner here in just a second. I'm going to give everybody a minute to go ahead and type this in. Yo, Liam, let's go with the 16 months. Liam, thank you so much. While we are doing this, guys, don't forget, in the month of May, 500. If we hit 500 YouTube members and Twitch subscribers combined, you all get to pick my U.S. Nationals deck. That is in the month of May. In the month of May. 500, you all get to pick my hero and my deck. 750, and I do cosplay at the event of the hero. That's the deal. During the month of May, I'm going to have it's going to be like a subathon the whole month. All right, let's pull a winner. Let's pull a winner. Here we go. Choose a winner. Bang. Kafrika 755. There it is. Kafrika 755. Kafrika hangs out pretty regularly. Let's see. Giveaway winner for 1626. All right. Congrats, Kafrika, on winning the giveaway. Appreciate you guys being here and hanging out and being a part of that. All right. Kafrika, just reach out to me. We'll get it set up so that I can get you the tokens and the mat and everything like that. Just shoot me a Discord DM and we'll get it all set up. Obviously, I'll need proof of your account. Like, you're here quite regularly, but proof of your account on YouTube. And then we'll get everything set up. Is there a way to order the binders? Not that I'm aware of. I don't know. Number 2 chatter, well deserved. Yo, you love it. You love to see it. You love to see it. Okay, let's cover some of the Yokohama data. Let's see. Yeah, let's cover some of the Yokohama data. Actually, we'll do it this way. So let's cover some of this data here. I talked about this weekend. I want you to look at this. The top 3 decks are all within 13 picks of each other. 531 players, and the top 3 picks for the Yokohama metagame was in CC were within 13 picks of each other. Silver Age, not quite so much. Understand there's a little bit of difference there. But like, yeah, all 3 of them being that close is really interesting. Victor being second represented is still a little surprising to me. I understand that it's not it's not super surprising, but it is a little surprising to me. Dot just asked, do we know when Breakpoints is dropping? New Breakpoints tomorrow. We recorded it last night, even though I had been home 12 hours and I was jet lagged. We recorded last night because I freaking love you guys. We recorded last night. Breakpoints coming out tomorrow. Taylor's going to get that point out. I did get an Omen spoiler. I forgot to tell you this part of the story. Damn it. I got a spoiler. April 29th. April 29th. Spoiler date. So, Breakpoints tomorrow. Spoiler, April 29th. I don't know if it's going to be a video or a stream yet, but I did get a spoiler. And I'm pumped to shit to show it to you guys. I'm pumped to shit to show it to you guys. It's going to be cool. This one really surprised me a lot. Looking at Syndra as the 4th most represented deck was really surprising to me. But there was 0 Syndras on top 8, but Gordon Coco did finish 9th. And then turned around in like top 8 of the Showdown. Gordon Coco is an absolute monster. Did the guys bring you the cards? Oh, I never got the cards from Emma and Kevin. I completely forgot about that when we got there. Only 144 times of 2 hours. Oh my god, bro. But yeah, seeing Syndra with a big uptick makes me think that maybe we should be looking at Syndra as a deck to pivot to, potentially pivot to for US Nationals. We'll see. Gravy Bones being the 5th most represented deck at 35. Not super surprising, but a little bit surprising. I think I'm more surprised than anything to see Dash fall all the way down to 6th. I was expecting to see Dash a little bit higher on this list. I was expecting to see Dash a little bit higher on this list. I kind of thought Ira was going to have a surprising weekend this weekend. I was expecting her to have just a little bit of a better weekend. There was a Tekla in top 8. Absolutely nuts. Tekla in top 8 is insane. There was a singular Riptide. The Riptide player that I played against in CC was the one Riptide that I played against in Silver Age. My Silver Age opponent who was playing Riptide. Is the stream still here? Looks like we're still here. I don't know what happened. That was weird. Like, I don't know, like my phone just like randomly died. That was odd. But anyway, the person who I played against, they were the sole Riptide in CC. They played Riptide at the event. If that is not like the most like baller shit I've ever seen in my life, just know it was an amazing move. I'm sad I lost to you, but it was an amazing move. Reinar didn't convert, Eugene did, is based as shit. He already forgot we are picking his deck for Nats. Yo, listen. If you all pick the deck, I'll play whatever you guys want. That's the deal. So this was the CC data. It's not crazy surprising. I kind of expected these decks. Like, I was expecting Acilio and Mario to be 1 and 2 and Victor to be number 3 was what I was thinking. Like, I guess, I don't know. I guess this is kind of what I was thinking. Sorry for the flashbang. I accidentally hit the W on my keyboard. Dude, Eugene is everybody's hero. So the contest, 500, we choose the Nats deck. 750, you cosplay the hero. 1,000, you learn the deck. Okay, first off. Yeah, probably something like that. Listen, if we get to 500, I am going to do nothing but jam that deck for like the 2 weeks after May ends or whenever we get there. We also are living in a world where it'll never happen. But if you donate all 500 during the month of May, you can just send me the list you want me to play. That's it. I mean, yeah, Fi-Side knows too much. Fi-Side knows too much. All right, let's take a look at Silver Age data. Silver Age, Ira was the most represented deck by almost double. Everything else is kind of the same after that. So you'll notice that we have Ira at 131, and then we have these 3 heroes within 16 of each other. I am sad to say that I played Red Unmovable and Red Reinforced Line in my Ira deck and never ran into a single Volda. I was very sad. Let's see. Fi being 13 people is a little surprising. Not crazy surprising, but a little surprising. I was kind of expecting this to be more after we saw Terra have a good run at calling Shanghai, if I'm being honest. The singular Arachne Solitary Confinement, or Slippy, was Colin Erickson from AGE. Colin is an absolute freaking beast, bro. I love Colin. Guy's an animal. I think he top 16 to calling. I think he lost his win and in. Yo, what's up, I am? Our boy is playing Teklo or Gravy for Nats. Oh, God. God, please don't let it be Gravy. Yeah, I don't know. Everything else, like, kind of makes sense. The exaggerate or the rumors of Briar's death were greatly exaggerated. she ended up being better than everybody thought, which is a little surprising to me. But we found a new way to play Briar, which checks out. Like, I don't know. The Oldham and Volda being set like third and fourth makes a lot of sense. I was not expecting Ira to be over, like, basically at double what KO it. Yo, Damien, what's up, dude? I was not expecting it to be double. So, you know. The top 8, again, shout out. No, there's 2 Florians, 1 Kano, 1 Oldham, 1 Ira, 1 Dash, 1 Briar, and 1 Icelander. Oh. Did the stream die? No! Stream, come back. Baby, come back. You can blame it all on me. I was crying. I don't know the rest of the words. Chat, are we here? I'm skeptical we're not here. I saw somebody say it's back, but... Bars? Okay, so the singing must have come through. We must be back a little bit. All right, looks like we're back. Looks like we're back. Okay. Acilio Final is kind of crazy. Acilio Final is like kind of crazy and really makes sense on why they are going to nerf Acilio so hard. With Volzar being gone at the next ban list. And Evan Herndon, I mean, congrats to Evan. It was super cool to see him win. Love Evan. He's a homie, so seeing him win was awesome. This is the Calling top 8. We have 2 victors in the top 8. Is that the only... No, the other repeat hero was Mario. So 2 Marios, 2 victors, a Volda, a Rhinar, a Kasai, and a Gravy Bones. Nova Chan ended up winning. Reacting Marionette won. I just like seeing 2 victors. I wish I could see their deck list. I bet they're up somewhere. I bet we could look at their deck list somewhere. And then let's see. The Showdown was won by Michael Yassiger playing Kano. And then we have Icelander, Oldham, Volda, 3 Iras, and a repeat Icelander. Oh, Andrew Cook top 8'd? Nice. Yeah, and then Gordon makes top 8. I mean, Gordon's an absolute monster. So, I mean, a lot of these things kind of check the boxes. A lot of these things checked out. Yo, Sparta, what's up, buddy? Thank you for trying to help me find the tiger. Yeah, dude. Pooch, I'm sorry I couldn't actually help you get the tiger, but I'm glad I could help a little bit. So, this is the data. In case you guys are curious, this is my Victor deck that I played. For anybody who is a metafy subscriber and you own the page or you own the metafy guide, there's not going to be an update on the Victor guide either until I go to the 5K at SCG Cincinnati or when I go to US Nationals. I'm going to be testing and continuing to work on Victor, but there's probably not going to be an update on the guide for a minute just because I don't have any events coming up. So as the list changes, continue to look for changes and see things like that. You will go to Calling SP. What is Calling SP? Yo, Delph, thanks for hanging out. Have a good night. Yeah, what is SP, Sparta? Just so I can make sure I understand. This is the Victor list. I mean, looking at it right off, I don't know that I would make any changes. I really like where the deck's at. If there was a world we could add a 3rd Clash of Bravado, I might. Playing a 3rd Clash of Bravado as opposed to Righteous Cleansing might be correct. Maybe that's also just my pairings talking. Maybe we could find room for there to be 1 copy of Performance Bonus in the sideboard. Oh, Calling Sao Paulo. Sadly, I will not be at Calling Sao Paulo. It was just too expensive for us to fly there. Flights were like $1,100 a piece for my wife and I. So me and Carly will not be at Calling Sao Paulo, sadly. I am going to try to go to Calling Mexico City. I know that that's not exactly the same thing. I'm just letting you guys know. Did you see that guy in the Pro Tour use Clash of Vigor in his list? I did see Clash of Vigor in his list. I thought that was really interesting. He was on Ripple Away and Clash of Vigor. It was really neat. And then this is my Ira list that I played. Looking back on it, like one of the big changes that I think I should have made is I think I should have been on 2 of this card. I was only on 1 Red Blessing of Key. I think I should have been on 2. We probably could have cut the Reinforce the Lines and played another Red Blessing of Key and a Yellow Blessing of Key. Would have been a better way to approach this weekend with all the Oldham that was there. So I think that was just a deck building mistake on my part. Would have been a better play. But either way. Oh, I wish I could go to Sao Paulo so bad. I've always wanted to go to Brazil. Always wanted to go to Brazil. There's a lot of places I want to hit. A lot of places I want to hit. But yeah, I mean, I think the deck was good. I think I played poorly in some spots and made some bad decisions along the way, and it cost me some games. If you guys are curious about getting either the Victor deck or the Ira deck, !deck in the chat will get you the link to both. I've got it set up for the bots to be able to do that for you, so it'll be there. Guys, I know it's only been a little over 2 hours. My voice is going out from being sick, so I think we're going to call it a little early tonight. Can I convince you to come to Prague? I also looked at coming to Prague. Flights were $900 a piece. And with me being out of PTO, basically, and like all the other trips we're taking, I don't think so, unfortunately. I wish, but unfortunately, I don't think so. But yeah, so guys, I appreciate you guys coming by and hanging out tonight. Damien and the card guys are live right now. I'm pretty sure Damien and Thomas are live. So if you're looking for more Flesh and Blood content, check them out. They got a stream going. The card guys, Damien and Thomas put out great content. Damien's going to be talking about his recap from Pro Tour Yokohama, where he finished 11th or 12th, I believe. So make sure you go check that out. Show Damien and them some love. And then breakpoints tomorrow. We might stream this weekend. I'm not 100% sure yet. Depends on how I'm feeling. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, guys. Have a good night. And I will see you guys, if nothing else, next week. Take it easy, guys. Full access to roast me. You have